Hey Jim, there's the X5. Sorry about all that junk there. We're getting ready to have a yard sale. Get rid of some old crap that's hanging around. Anyway, this is a saga about my 2008 E70 X5. It's a 4.8 V8. And on Sunday, we drove it about 15 miles to go to a drive-through birthday party. About a block from where we were supposed to go, pulled over, parked, shut off the car, put some balloons on it, put a happy birthday banner. And then I went to try to start it and nothing. Well, the first thing I noticed is I had the rear hatch open. And when I pushed the button on it to close it, nothing. That's weird. So I had to close it manually and went to start the car and it just went clink. And all hell broke loose on the dashboard. Every possible warning came on. It said, it was scrolling through them, like on the center screen, it said transmission failure. And then it said dynamic stability control failure. And then it said ABS control failure. Every possible warning light was on. The little screen in the center behind the steering wheel had the 4x4 failure and brake failure. I mean, just, everything was on. Everything, like a Christmas tree, as they say. That's no good. So, won't start. My wife pulls off all of the balloons and proceeds to run on to the birthday party. We're vaccinated and still wearing masks, and so it was safe. But she ran on quickly there, and I started looking into it. What the heck's going on? And kind of seems like my battery's getting weak. So I'm guessing maybe it's a bad alternator. Online on a forum, I saw someone that said if you let the car just go to sleep, meaning close the doors, keep the key away from it, and just let it sit there for 15 minutes, it'll go to sleep. It'll reset itself, and it might start again. I did that. Tried it after like 17 minutes. Bing, started right up. Good, great. Crazy light bulbs all off on the dashboard still. Warnings everywhere, but at least now it's running. So we take off and try to drive it the 15 miles back home. As we're driving, little by little, things start shutting down. The radio stopped working. I had already noticed that the clock had gone blank. And then the air conditioning system, the temperature settings, weren't where we had them. They just went back to the default 68 setting. So as we're driving, things are shutting down. And it finally put itself in safe mode, where I think it's only got like third gear. So if you come to a complete stop, the transmission feels like it's slipping a lot as you're trying to get some speed built up. So I was trying to time the lights right and not come to a complete stop. Then the speedometer and the tachometer both just froze. And as I slowed down, nothing. They froze. Ooh, that's not good. My wife says, well, maybe we should just pull into a parking lot. I said, no way, we're going to make it. We're only a few miles from home. As I go to put on the gas pedal stopped working. It just done. So now the truck is just idling, and idling poorly. So I did go into a parking lot and put it in a spot where I had what I thought was good access for a tow truck driver. Called AAA, went and got a bottle of soda pop, came back, AAA driver's there, and he says, I can't tow that car. Why can't you tow it? He says it's stuck in park. They won't come out of park without being started. And if you don't have the juice to start the car, then it's not going to come out of park. He put a jump pack on it and tried to get it to come out of park, and it wouldn't. As soon as you shut off the engine on these, they put themselves in park spontaneously. So I was unaware of the proper procedures to make a dead X5 towable. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So anybody else out there that's a dumbass like me who owns one of these sometimes towed vehicles and doesn't know how to put it in tow mode, here's where you find out. But the first thing I'm going to tell you is what I actually did to remedy the problem. I actually opened up the rear hatch and removed the battery from the X5 and took it home. Like I said, it was only 2 or 3 miles from where I live. So I just took the battery home and plugged it into my really good heavy-duty battery charger, charged the battery for a few hours, took it back, put it back in the X5, and then my wife Shannon was able to drive it home from there. It's sitting here now. I'm pretty sure the alternator's bad. I'm going to look into that. But this particular video, it's just how to make your X5 open up and be towable if your battery completely fails. Everybody probably already knows, but in case you don't, on your key fob, there is a little button right here. And if you push that down, then this key pops out. Now this key will open the driver door. Let's look. Okay. We see we're locked. So just like a regular old door, it'll open. But now what we can also do, if your battery is completely dead, you got to pop the hood, and then you're going to have to apply some power. Oops, dropped my key. You're going to have to apply power to the jump start location. So you would hook your negative side here and your positive side here, and give yourself just enough power to pop this rear hatch. As far as I could find, there was no manual release to undo this hatch if it gets locked with the battery completely dead. So don't let it close. I stuck a cloth after I pulled my battery out and brought it home to charge it. I just crammed some of this blanket here into my latch so I could push my hatch down, but it wouldn't actually latch again, because then I'd have to jump it again to get this hatch open, and it just made it a little easier to keep it from closing. But here's an interesting thing that I was not aware of. If you've got your vehicle stuck with a dead battery and you want to try and tow it, this is our key to putting it into neutral manually. So the first thing you do with this is you come into the interior, and it's in the bottom of the cup holders, which is kind of fun. So you have to pull the cup holder covers out, and then you see right here it says open, and you take your little tool and open that, pop it out, and down there you see another spot where this tool will fit, and it'll only fit in it one way. And then in order to put the car manually into neutral, you push down and give it about a quarter of a turn, and that puts the vehicle in neutral with no power. That's a good thing to know. Now, I also read somewhere that not all E70s have this, that the newer ones, this one's a 2008, but that the newer ones don't have this. This piece will still be there, and you'll still have this tool, but when you open this up, the actual neutral release is not there. You have to access it from underneath the vehicle, take off a metal splash pan, and then there's a hex screw you have to tighten up to put it in neutral on the newer ones. But this is an older E70, so we do have that feature. Then even if you have your, if you've set your electronic parking brake and then your battery went dead, let me show you where you release that using the same little jewel in the back. We're in the back here, and if you pull this cover off, you will see a little pin back here, this little pin right here. And with this tool, you'll see a little opening in the tool right there. So if you fit that over the pin and then pull up on it, it releases, it manually releases the electronic parking brake. Another good thing to know if you want to have a dead X5 towed. So that's it, short and sweet, to the point. You got to be able to tow your X5 no matter what happens. And now you're armed with knowledge that I did not have on Sunday. Otherwise, I would have had it towed home instead of having to pull the battery out and go through all that monkey motion. I don't know why I didn't know that. You think I would have? And again, I don't know why the tow truck driver didn't know that. All tow truck drivers should know how to tow. You'd think they'd have plenty of experience towing BMWs. Hey, hope that helps you. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on the motorhome probably tomorrow. Okay, I got the battery charged for a couple hours, and as you can see 2 cars ahead of me there, it's Shannon driving it. It still says DSC. It still says it's got a bunch of problems, but it's running. So hopefully she'll be able to make it home. I'm going to follow her if this moron who cut me off would get out of the way. That way I can stay with her, because it's probably still going to be running weird.